back to Wargaming World, to Syria 1941, and to a game of Chain of Command. And so, this game is Vichy French holding a position here back of the table. The position is suspected by an attacking force, an Allied force, that the French are calling in artillery, and the aim is to knock out this particular building and a radio set in there with the French Vichy team, and to do so is an attack from French Senegalese. Now, the game itself, in terms of the forces, we've got a small French Vichy force, but with some good support units, and a larger standard force in terms of the Senegalese. And the Senegalese will be attacking from this side of the board. So we've got we'll go through the forces in a moment, but I just wanted to look at the actual objectives itself and think about how they might attack this objective. Okay, so let's have a think about how the Senegalese will attack. It's an opportunity here on the right hand side to get some cover. We've got buildings and rocky areas in front to offer some kind of covering fire, as on the left hand side we'll have two more sections advancing through this stone area and following a track up to the wadi. Now, you won't be surprised that the French will be occupying that area, almost like a very supportive trench before we get to the objective. But that's the main thrust of the Senegalese attack. So let's take a look at our attacking force. The HQ, we have a senior leader and the inferior senior leader behind him. We've then got a VB team, 3 VBs with a junior leader. Junior leader's got a submachine gun. We've got 3 identical sections, and the composition of the 3 is that we have a light machine gun and 1 crew member. We've then got 4 rifles, and we have a further 4 rifles as a separate team, and we also have 1 NCO. So we've got some advantage in terms of some numbers, and in terms of support points, I've given all of the junior leaders, the NCOs, have a submachine gun, and I'm also going to say that the VB team, we've got extra points there to give them unlimited ammunition. So that's the composition of the Senegalese. So whether they've got enough numbers and whether they can attack the Vichy forces, we'll have to wait and see. Now, we're low on numbers, but we'll see whether all of the support can be helpful. We have 2 small sections. We've got 7 rifles and a junior leader with each. In terms of support, we've got a medium machine gun with 3 crew. We've got a mortar. It's going to be a 60mm mortar with 3 crew. We've got a medic, and we also have a sniper. At the back we've got a 75mm gun and 3 crew. Relatively limited on our numbers, but we also have our senior leader and our inferior senior leader on the right hand side. And then right at the back there we've got our radio operator, who's bringing in the off-board fire, which is causing all the issues. We're going to see if we can knock him out from his defensive position. And finally at the back there we've got our Citroen truck, so if we get desperate for the troops, they can try and escape at some point. So the numbers means that we're relatively short on our standard infantry, so this is really a HQ setup. and we've got our Senegalese attacking, and we've got also some Senegalese on our support machine gun and mortars, as well as the 75mm at the back there. However, the huge advantage for the French is that there's some excellent defensive positions, so that's our Vichy force. Now we are playing scenario 6 from the main rulebook, which is attack on an objective, and this is our objective here at the back of the board. It means that we have 4 markers, patrol markers, in the objective there. We've got these French figures I'm using as the markers, and we'll use this for the patrol phase. At the other end of the board we have 4 markers again, who are our Senegalese, and we're going to see how many free moves they have before we start off. Okay, so 6 means we have 4 free moves for the attackers. Okay, and that takes all 4 to here. Well, that's the end of the patrol phase, and I think I've done it much better for the Vichy than I have for the Senegalese, but we've got 2 markers here. Let's see how far they are from the objective and how wide they are. We're right on the edge of the board here. So I've got 2 there, and here we've got our first Senegalese in front of that marker, and the Senegalese are in front of these 2 buildings for that single point. We then have another 2 here, in terms of 12 inches away from each other, and another marker there, and then furthest across there you can see that there's the Vichy marker and the Senegalese marker. So I'm going to organise 3 jump-off points for the attacker. We get 3 jump-off points also for the defender, and there will also be a jump-off point at the objective right at the back there. So based on the position of the patrol markers, you'll see in the sort of shattered building there we've got 1 jump-off point. That's the objective. We then have 1 here at the back, and just before the wadi, but also by the rocks, etc. There is a further 1 here, and finally, as we had quite a lot of width, the Vichy forces, we have 1 here behind these rocks. For the Senegalese we have 1 by this building. Further over we've got 1 at the corner there, just by the stone wall. And then finally, and it's not great for the camera angles, we've got 1 the other side there of the olive grove. Right, okay, next thing to do is to have a look at morale. Force morale, I'm going to say red dice for the Senegalese and blue for the Vichy forces. So that's not an ideal start. The attacker has 8 for the Senegalese, and we have 10 for the Vichy French. Right, first turn of the game. Let's see if the attackers, the Senegalese, can bring the numbers to bear. So we've got 2 1s, a 2, a 3 and a 4. So with the 3, I've set up this unit. The 4 at the bottom are in the on the ground floor. The ones on the top there, we've got our machine gun and 4 rifles and the junior leader. They're also on overwatch, and their direction is directly in line with the objective. And then I've brought in 2 teams and a senior leader. They are essentially 4 inches back from the start, so I haven't put them all out. They're all in the middle of that olive grove. It's going to take them a while to move out, but they also can't be seen. Over to the Vichy troops, and we get the first 2 for our chain of command dice. So that's up to 2, and then we've got a 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to pass over to the attacking Senegalese. So we've got 2 4s and 3 1s. With the 3 1s, we put all the VB team together with the junior leader and on overwatch. First person is our inferior senior leader, who's on the table in with the other 2 sections. So those sections now have a senior leader and an inferior senior leader. With the other 4, we're going to have the senior leader order the other 2 sections to start moving slowly as they will be, so we need to roll to see how far they get in the orchard. So the front unit is going to go 4 inches, so they're right at the edge. One behind them, 1 inch, so there's a bit of a gap. And that's as far as the unit gets to at the end of that phase. Vichy turn, another 2 for chain of command dice, takes us up to 4. We've got a 2 4s and a 6. Anything with 2 4s really, so back over to Senegalese, and it's a double phase, and a 2 3 4. Both units are going to move here. The one that's right at the front is going to go 2d6. We can't really move at the double because we're coming out of that orchard, but we're going to move 2d6 further forward. The one behind it will just move 1d6. Unit in front, 10 inches. Behind, there's 2, so it's not quite to the edge of the orchard. Second phase, reduce 1 dice down to 4. We get 3 3s. Right, with the 2 commands here, the junior leader is going to order the smaller team of 4 rifles to advance tactically on its own, and with the remainder to go on overwatch. On the edge here, the second section, the junior leader is going to order units to move. We're going to roll 2d6 for that one. So see how far the tactical moving team moves, 6 inches, and the movement from the olive grove is 5 inches. This is where we end up. So the team here has moved away, so you've got 4 rifles there advancing. The other whole sections come out of the orchard. This is the position, so it's the remaining unit, which has the machine gun here just behind the stone wall, is on overwatch. Now, my temptation for the Vichy forces would be to, if we could somehow end the turn, if we get another couple of 5s, because all the attackers are on overwatch, so there's a lot of fire, and we don't have that many numbers, but let's see what we get. Oh, that's exactly what we need. So 3 more for chain of command dice. That takes us to 1 more pip on a second dice, and a 1 and a 2. Okay, so with the 2 I've brought on a medic. He's in position. The jump off point, by the way, is just here, the other side of this tree. With a 1, I've brought on a sniper. So the sniper is going to fire at the unit over here, which isn't the one on overwatch. So we're going to see if we can hit with a 3. No, it's a miss. And finally, I'm going to end the turn, so I'm going to use the chain of command dice to do that. And so all of the units on overwatch now that is removed, and we're on to turn 2. Okay, 2 5s the other way, so it's the first time we've had chain of command dice for the Senegalese, and then we have a 2 and a 4. Okay, with a 4, the senior leader at the back there, I've got him in the wrong position actually, he's right at the wrong side, so he's going to move. He's going to put the unit in the front here on overwatch, and this team is going to order that to move. With a 2, and they're going to move this unit as well up to as close as they can get to this stone building, or stone wall I should say. That team are going to move 2d6, and that's 11 inches. The leader himself is going to move 7 inches. The section moving 6 inches. So that's where we finish. The team is up against the stone wall. Another unit is on overwatch there at the back, and then this unit has moved forward. So over to the Vichy forces. So 2 5s take us up to 3 on chain of command, and then we have 2 4s and a 3. Well, it was hard to know, but I think I might have been a little bit too late to deploy the Vichy, but anyway, I'm bringing on 1 section. He has a junior leader, and there is also, I'm bringing on the inferior senior leader. They're in a good position here, and they're going to fire on the team at the front there. I'm also going to fire the sniper at them as well. It's going to be an order from the inferior senior leader. So I have 7 rifles firing. The junior leader only has a pistol, and so does the senior, which is 9 inches. So we've got 7 firing at them, needing 4s, and I'll do the sniper in a moment. 7 firing, needing 4s, and that gives us 3 hits. Hard cover. That's a point of shock. Sniper fires, misses. So the firing has triggered the overwatch, so the machine gun with 6 dice and then 4 rifles will fire back. This time it's needing 5s at the French forces. So needing 5s. And we've got a total of 2 hits. 2 hits, hard cover, no effect. Fairly ineffectual firing. And so, not great dice either. So we've got 2 for the chain of command dice, taking us up to 4, and a 1 and a 2. Right, at this point I'm going to change tack here. The unit at the back, I'm going to get to move at the double, right down the track in front of them. So that's 3d6. Both teams take 1 point of shock, although we'll make a deduction because they'll have a junior leader with it. So we'll have a point of shock on the rifles, how far they can go. It's a good roll as well, 13 inches. The option was there that I could have fired and moved that unit, but for me, I think the idea is whilst the Vichy haven't got a lot of numbers out there, we need to get as close as possible. So that was the logic. So we're over to the Vichy French roll. Now, just need to roll that one again. Right, so that's good for a 1 because it means they can bring on some heavier weapons. We've got a mortar, a machine gun, or a very decent 75mm if you wish, but we've also got lots of other stuff as well, 2 2s and a 3 and a 4. So effectively with that roll we have an opportunity for everything to fire. So we've brought in the second section of rifles. It's another 7 rifles. We've got the rifles who can also fire the starts. The senior leader is on, just at the back there. We're going to fire the medium machine gun, and we'll also fire the sniper. Right, I'm going to start with the sniper, firing, in fact almost everything's going to fire at the unit which is moving or has just moved down that track. So let's start with the sniper. And it hits. And it's a kill. 2, it's an officer. Yes it is. 1 2 3, it's the junior leader. 4 5 6, the senior. It's the junior, happens to him. He's killed. Straight away, that's a bad thing. As a 2, I think that's a -1. It's a -1 and the morale down to 7. Gun firing. 9 dice needing 4s. And that looks like we've got 3 hits. Actually, they're close enough for it to be the 3 hits to be shared between the 3 teams. We've got the machine gun, the rifles, and then the other rifles next to it. Dice is the small unit on its own. The green dice, machine gun team. The black dice is the rifle team. It's actually 1 point of shock on the rifle team in the end. 7 rifles, needing 4s. Looks like 2 hits. Green is the machine gun. We've got 1 kill on the machine gun team, but is it an officer? No, it's not. Then got another 7 rifles firing. I'm going to say it's 5s this time. The angles that they have. That's 2 hits. Green machine gun team, and that's just 1 point of shock. This time for the rifles, we've now got 3 points of shock. Move the medic 6 inches. So we've moved next to the inferior senior leader and a junior leader just in case. Well, that move has certainly brought out all of the Vichy forces. We do have some other heavy weapons if we roll, but let's see what happens in the Senegalese turn. Now a double phase, 2 1s and a 2. Okay, so I've got a 1 over here, so I'm going to fire as a team, remembering that the machine gun team has the machine gun plus 4 rifles, so that's 10 dice. Similarly, we can fire here with 10 dice from the roof. And with a 2, we're going to move this section out the way, get it some cover, but we need to move, or as we move, we have to deduct some of the distance, remembering that the rifle team there has 3 points of shock. Right, well both units are going to fire at the machine gun. I know we've got other teams next to it, but we need 5s to hit them to start off with. And that looks like we've got 3 hits in total. So effectively we've got 2 sections and the machine gun. So we're going to say the red dice is the machine gun, green on the left, black on the right. Rolling hard cover, so it's no effect. Then again, needing 5s. And this time only 2 hits. So the impact, nothing. Section's going to move 2d6, which is 11, less 3 inches, but 8 inches is fine to get it into some kind of cover. Right, well, that was fairly ineffectual, and particularly because no casualties were caused in the from the Vichy forces. We've moved into cover rather than make a frontal assault, which I think realistically is going to be fairly suicidal at this point. Let's see what we can get from a double phase. Drop 1 dice. We've got a 5 for a chain of command dice to take it up to 5, and then 3 2s. So we've got 3 2s, so we're going to have the team here at the back with one of the 2s. It's only the machine gun that can actually fire, but that'll give us 6 dice firing the unit over there on 4s, and then we've got our senior leader who's going to order the team there to move, to fire rather. He'll also move across to this unit, and then if he gets as far as he can, and he can move, he can roll 3d6 because he doesn't take shock. He moves out the double, get to this unit and then take 1 point of shock off. So we'll start with this single machine gun just at the back here, firing, needing 4s. And 3 hits. In terms of the angle he's firing at, you can only actually hit this unit on the end, on the right hand side. So we're going to roll, it's 3 dice, 5 is shock, 6 to kill, and it's 1 shock and 1 kill. It's the leader. Oh yes it is. So with the unit we've got a junior and a senior leader. So 1, 2, 3 is the junior. It is the junior. What happens to him? He's knocked out. Now, although we have a medic there, we can't do anything about the fact that he's been knocked out, so it'll be until the end of this turn, but it's still a bad thing. All for a bad thing. 4 I think is a -1. Yeah, it's a -1, so morale is down to 9, and we've got that 1 point of shock. The senior leader is moving. He can move 6 inches in total. Okay, so he gets across, and we have moved the shock down to 2 with that unit, and the final thing we need to do is to fire with this unit. So it's 5s to hit, and that looks like we've got 3 hits. So all 3 units can be hit here, so I'm going to say green is the machine gun team, red on the left, black on the right. Make any difference, it's no effect, and we move to the Vichy phase. Okay, so 2 4s, a 1 2 3. Well, we've absolutely every option really with this roll, but with a 1 we've brought in the 75mm gun, so that's 6 HE. It'll fire in a moment, and then we'll remove the point of shock. We've got a senior leader who can allow to do that. We'll fire the machine gun, and then both units will fire. So the HE is going to fire at the unit on this building. 6 dice needing 4s. Just 1 hit. The unit is in the open, and that's a kill. Leader. No, it's not. Machine gun this time, needing 4s. That's all but 2, so 7 hits. In hard cover, it's 7 hits. It's the black dice are the team at the front. Green dice are the machine gun team. Red dice are the rifles, which is the one with the 2 shock. And that looks like, let's have a look there. So we've got 1 kill and 1 point of shock at the front. We've got 2 points of shock at the unit at the back. And is it a leader with the kill? Yes, it is a leader. In amongst us there, we've got our, I'm going to say we actually have 2 senior leaders and 1 junior leader. So we need 1 2 is the junior leader. Actually, it isn't thinking about it. The junior leader was killed, wasn't it? So actually, if we've got a leader, it's only one of the 2 senior leaders. So 1 2 3 is the inferior. It is. And what happens to him? He loses a wound, so his wound goes down. The wound means that his command goes down to 1 command initiative, and a bad thing, 6. I think that might be a -2. And so command is down. The morale rather is down to 5. So we've got the we've still got 2 rifles to fire in terms of 7 each, and indeed I've still got a sniper as well. So. First of all, the one's needing 5s. Here it's 3 hits, 3 teams. Black is the front unit. I'll say green is the machine gun, red at the back. front team again have had a man killed. Is it the leader? No, it isn't. Team at the front there are now down to 2 men with 2 points of shock. Of the 7, it's still needing 4s. And that's another 3 hits. Look at that, another man killed at the front. So they're going to break, unless it's a leader, so either way it's bad. So that team is going to, that's going to break. Let's just test and see if it's going to be the leader. No, it's not. Team break 6 plus 2d6, so they're going to disappear 14 inches. It's another bad thing. Team breaks 3, I think might be a -1. Yep, morale down to 4. Finally, the sniper. That's a hit, so it's only soft cover as he's raised up. 3 is nothing, that's no effect. Well, that was a great phase for the Vichy forces. Really, with a morale now of 4, down to 4 dice with the Senegalese, I really don't see them having really any opportunity to take the objective. Perhaps maybe it was just too difficult, and this whole wall of rifleman, machine gun, and now a 75mm would be a little too difficult. I don't think they've had very poor rolls, very unfortunate rolls in terms of officers, etc. But that's the way the game goes. So I'm going to do another phase for them, but it might be after their phase and that of the Vichy. We have to call it a day. So let's see what happens with the next phase. Down to 4 dice, double phase, and a 2 and a 3. Right, with a 3, I have no limits on the number of I can fire with the VB team, so they're going to fire. We roll. First time you fire, it's only half effect, so it's only 3 dice. So 3 dice are going to try and fire it onto the machine gun team. With a 2, this unit is going to move up to position. We can actually move and fire at half effect. I think there's not many dice there, but I need to make a deduction. We've got 4 shocks, so we need to -2 and half what we've got, but we might get 3 or 4 dice. So roll for movement. First of all, it's only 1 inch. Total in the end there is 4 dice can fire with 4s at the machine gun. 2 hits is the machine gun. Nothing on the machine gun, but a kill on the man or the unit next to it. Is it a leader? No, it isn't. Casualty needing 5s with the VBs and no effect. Phase, drop a die, go down to 3. 1 and a 3. This time it's 6 dice with the VB launcher, needing 5s. And we have 2 hits, as if in soft cover. Red dice is the machine gun. And so it takes a point of shock. With a 1, we're firing with a team, which is a machine gun and 4 rifles, needing 5s. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. On the machine gun, the green is on the rifles on the left hand side. Oh right, okay, so we've got 1 kill on the machine gun team. Now it's a team of 3 people, so it's down to 2, but it's also got another point of shock, which is on 2. And we have a point of shock on each of the rifle team to test if it's a leader. No, it isn't. So into that phase. So we have 1 for the Vichy for the chain of command dice, taking it up to 4, and then a 1, 3, 3. Okay, so with a 3, the junior leader takes the point of shock off and orders his rifle team to fire. With a 4, we have a senior leader who orders the 75mm, the machine gun, and the other rifles to fire. 75mm, needing 4s. That is 4 hits. The team on the building, who would be in soft cover. However, it's reduced because by 1, because it's HE, which means we have 2 kills and a point of shock. Leader. No, it isn't. On 9 dice, needing 4s. And so that gives us 3 hits. Machine gun team, 1 on the rifles, 1 kill and 1 point of shock. The leader. No. Rifles needing 5, so 1 on the right hand side, 1 hit. No effect. Rifles needing 4s, 2 hits. Machine gun team, no effect. Right, I'm going to withdraw at that point. There's no point continuing the operation just to have the team slaughtered. They'll withdraw to the orchard behind the building and regroup and have another thought. I didn't make the attack that I should have, really, which was along the left-hand side and then continue with a bit of conviction into the wadi and to make contact. It was the hand-to-hand fighting that would have been in the advantage of the Senegalese, but I didn't do that, and instead set up for a firefight, which they ultimately have lost. So a good victory for the Vichy force, a good line of defence, and we'll have to go back and think of other options, and the operation continues. So this is the first time I've done this Syria 1941 period, and enjoyed it. I thought that's been, although a challenge for the attackers, it's been some unlucky rolls and a good line for the French. So it's been a good game. If you've got some thoughts, then please put some comments on the YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're not already. Subscribe to the channel, and also you can join some of the Facebook groups, including Wargaming World and Chain of Command France 1940 if you wish. So just to say thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.